Sam Harris is one of the people that I closely follow. He's been active with his meditation app, The Waking Up, and his YouTube channel, Making Sense. So, who is this Sam Harris? Sam Harris received his PhD in cognitive neuroscience from the University of California. He has been adamantly discussing the effects of religion on our behavioral aspects, our lifestyle choices, and why it does not make sense to adhere to religions, such as Christianity and especially Islam.
Okay, if you wake up tomorrow morning thinking that saying a few Latin words over your pancakes is going to turn them into the body of Elvis Presley, okay, you have lost your mind. Okay? But if you think more or less the same thing about a cracker and the body of Jesus, you're just a Catholic.
As a consequence of this, he has been heavily criticized on many fronts and has been repeatedly threatened by many groups. Apart from his stance against religions, he has been a strong supporter of the idea that we do not have any free will. To explain this further, he describes the indescribable components of our consciousness and how we can never fully control our consciousness. What is that voice that is talking to us? What makes us concoct ideas, beliefs, and understandings? Is there someone inside of our heads that are writing a script that forms what we will say? Most of us experience these thoughts on a daily basis, and a lot of the times. Things that may pop into our heads from our past, or random ideas on what to eat, the TV shows that we watched a week ago, all these things are to its essence are random and are not fully controlled by us, is what he states. Now, many people will come forward with the effects of environment. What about that and our actions? And they're not solely based on the manifestations of our consciousness. Well, to elaborate this point further, he steps on to the second stage, our environment. The most solid fundamentals of our psychological components are built during our early ages, and many of them are completed by the age of 7. And by that time, we're solely relying on others, our parents, teachers, or our neighborhood, and for things that we have almost no control of. And the things that you have no control of that are shaping the structures of your day. Now, the third element, genetics. It is still highly debated how much your genetics play a role in your thinking. However, there have been many studies on the impacts of our genetics and on our reactions, thoughts, processes, and interpretations. Again, to what extent this is accurate is still highly debated, but we can all agree that if you're genetically prone to anxiety, for example, you can control the way of the tides. However, the waves are still there. Therefore, he derives from all of this and concludes with there is no free will. However, what Sam Harris offers to this mess is what you may not control the existence of your thoughts. However, you can observe the thought themselves. And by doing so, you can see its effects on you, pushing you to be less dependent on those particular random thoughts and emotions. Thoughts and emotions are very similar, in my opinion. They're like a seesaw. One's motion propels the other one's action, creating kind of a commonality between the two. And by the way, nothing against other YouTube channels making videos about Sam Harris. However, I've seen so many motivational channels using thumbnails stating, never feel bad, or stop this bad emotion, never feel angry. And that is kind of like butchering what Sam Harris is saying. Even he admits that he's far away from controlling his thoughts. However, what he is saying is that do not be the guy in front of the agitated crowd. Because if you are, then you're more susceptible to being pushed around and being out of control. However, if you're the person looking at the crowd from outside, you may not be able to disperse the group, but you can see how the crowd reacts, which then will make you more in control of that seesaw action. Before I end with a video from Sam Harris, all in all, he states that when those feelings or thoughts arise, question those and focus on how those make you feel, and analyze the thought chains that it starts, instead of deflecting them, ignoring the thoughts and emotions. And once you do this regularly, like meditation, they will begin to subside. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, stay healthy, and I will see you soon. Out.
Just keep, it's like nuclear bombs of craziness that the press can't ignore, that every time they think, okay, this is the crazy thing he said that's going to harm his candidacy, so let's shine a light on it, it just helps him. You know, he could get on Twitter right now and say, you know who I'd like to fuck? I'd like to fuck Nicki Minaj. And